Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Railway Empire's Patchwork scenario for the Germany DLC. We are struggling to keep up with our tasks. You can see that we're now inside the over 50% window, so we can only complete them now. We can't get the gold tick for the 50% bonus. But we are making money at last in a pretty decent rate, and you can see that we are starting to improve the number of people on our network. Cologne has just grown enough to get another business. So I'm just looking around to see what we could put in here that's going to work as a good trade commodity for our connected stations. So we've got a beer connection over there, and that city's improving as we speak. We've got meat here, which is servicing Essen and Gütersloh as well. We don't need another brewery because we have breweries either side of us, as you can see. We do have the potential maybe for a smokehouse. Let me just see where the nearest salt is. Nearest salt is a long way off, so a smokehouse probably not a viable choice. Yeah, there's no salt anywhere near, is there? So that also rules out the food industry here for sauerkraut. We could go with a tailor's. Tailor's is actually probably a decent idea because we actually have boots already in here, so we could, take the byproduct of our meat business and immediately start converting that with wool. And I think we have got wool, yeah, very close there. Look, so we just need to run a connection in this way. So I think we'll do that. We'll drop in a tailor's. We'll stick it there. Now we need to connect up to Cologne, so let's go with a small station coming off at this angle. This saves messing up with the trains on this side here. We put that station there. Trickiest thing is going to be getting in at a decent kind of angle that isn't going to cripple us traffic wise. Ideally we'd like to be coming in on this side, so let me see if I can do it like this. Okay, alright, I've got an idea. So what I need to do first of all is go to demolish. This is probably going to cause a few issues with a couple of trains getting reset. Go, and what we're going to do is run these in on these bottom lines here instead, like that. And now we can run this around to here like that. There we go. So let's lower this down to a connection that can actually get in there without costing us a small fortune. So we've got a 3% gradient, a small bridge. That's not too bad. I'd rather try and avoid the bridges if we can. There we go. So 3% runs to 1%, 2%, and in. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll double that up. There we go. Just shorten that. Let's get that signalled. We need to re-signal this junction here as well. Let's put our auto-spaced signals on. They're a little bit screwed up because of the bridge. Let's just bring those together. Yeah, There we go, that's all good. I need to re-signal this little bit of track that we ripped up and repositioned. There we go. Those conflicted trains will get reset to their starting points and then we'll be fine to work again. But what I also want to do is upgrade this station now. Like that. There we go. So that doesn't impede the flow of normal traffic moving through. Let's get a couple of trains up and running as quickly as we can. We use the new Class Fs. We'll get 2 running on there. I need a passenger service if we still have any running. Looking to see whether this conductor will provide us any staff benefits. The ones that already have an existing crew. And that's it for our express trains, I think. I think they're the only ones that we have. So we'll ignore that conductor then. Isn't going to give us any major benefit. And we want to start pumping out a lot of wool very quickly. So how much is it going to cost to expand? 500,000 marks. Okay. We'll get that money rolling in. It isn't taking very long, as you can see. I'm going to add another train on this line here. There we go. Let's speed time up a little bit. Saarbrücken has grown. Excellent stuff. Now we can expand this industry. Excellent stuff there. Saarbrücken now has got space for another industry of its own as well. Excellent stuff. So, what can we put here? We don't have the money yet, but we can at least try and plan out what we want to drop in here to service other stuff. I was thinking dairy, but we've got a dairy just there, so I'm thinking maybe something else instead. We don't really want to go with another bakery. Do we have fruit nearby? I've got fruit there, which isn't hooked up yet, I don't think. So we could go fruit, but fruit might be better over here, perhaps. Get a distillery just there. There's a dairy connection over there. We can put a cheese manufacturing plant into Gütersloh, and then that could supply cheese in here, and also out this way to Essen, and possibly even Cologne as well. What else could we look at? A candy factory. We have beets, and we have the fruit. And we do have a grain there. So let's go with the candy factory here, I think. That's going to be our best bet. We're going to need to do a little bit more tweaking. So we're going to need a station. Can I get it close enough? Let's go with a larger station. There we go. Let's get a large station. Well, let's say a normal size station just there. I'm going to want a station over here as well, and again I'm going to go large, so I want trains running in both directions here. Let's say large. I'm going to go 2-track. Let's try and get the angle looking good. There we go. This is going to wipe out all of our funds, but the plan will be here to actually run trains as a connecting service through both stations. It's going to be the quickest and easiest way, I think, for us to deal with collecting resources for either of our cities, because Cologne is definitely going to need fruit and beets as just general commodities to get that to continue to level up. In fact, actually, we've already got fruit here on that station there, haven't we? I didn't realise that. Oh, in that case, we can just take that out. We can take that station back. I'd forgotten we'd actually got fruit here. As part of that is connecting fruit and wood. So we just need to connect to our main line. Let's try and do it in a way that we can do it between signals, but still have a decent sort of run up. There we go. That way we can stage a train or two either side of the connection. we're going to want a crossover. There we go. And the reason I'm focusing on improving what we've got right now rather than looking towards purchasing other territories is because the other territories are expensive, so we're going to need a large, constant income to be able to develop those for future tasks. And we've already failed the opportunity of getting it done in less than 50% of the time. So if that's the case, we've now got, a few years before we need to worry about getting that task done. So we may as well exploit the remaining time that we have, because we've already kind of crippled our chances of getting the presidency rating, and just get ourselves in a very strong financial position so that when we do unlock the other territories, we don't have major issues trying to get them all sorted up to get our population up. We'll already have a huge population in our existing territories. That's the plan, anyway. Whether or not that works out or not is another matter. I've been thinking about how to attack this scenario if I were to do it again to try and get a presidential rating, and I think I would basically just have to kind of run as much express trains as possible to just generate as much income as possible quickly before I start to expand and upgrade the towns. Just get as many connections, active connections as possible, running straight away, and then go from there. So that's something I might do another time, in my own time rather than on the channel. Let's see. Where are my supply towers? I've got one there. I've got one over there, so there's a connection there. I've got one over there, so there's a connection over there. So I don't need a supply tower on this run, although it probably wouldn't hurt to have one in here. Let's plonk one there. And let's get some of these trains up and running. So I want a beat train to run into Cologne. And I want a beat train to run into Saarbrücken. And that should be going on the lower platform now, which it is. So we can get two trains going in and out at the same time. There we go. Let's put an engineer on this train for a speed boost. Why not? The engineer and the security guard do not like each other. That's a bit of a shame. Never mind. Where is my sort of between city connection? There we go. Cologne to Saarbrücken. We want to make sure we've got a security guard on this train, because he's now going to be transporting a lot of wool as well. This one's currently empty. That one's got quite a lot of beer on it at the moment. Are we just not producing beer fast enough? Is that the problem? Yeah, we could do with more hops. So I think we probably need to upgrade this. Yeah, we do. That's going to cost me 800,000. Alright, what's my financial situation looking like over here? Oh, nice. Let's take this bond out. Pay that one off. Beautiful. We've got a nice bit of extra cash. Let's upgrade this business so that we can make sure we're getting plenty of hops delivered into Saarbrücken. Because that's what's slowing everything down at the moment. That's why we're not producing much beer. You can see there's only a couple of cars of beer being carried out there. We've got a connection bonus over here where we do need to get that connected up. How long we got? Till the 5th of December. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead now. We've got the cash, and let's drop in our new business over here before it auto-generates something that we don't want or can use. Let's go with a candy factory. And I'll plonk that there. And I want to train from here, going in here, but I want to prioritize fruit on this one. And I think we already have a train running here as it is. Yes, we've got 3 trains running back and forth to Saarbrücken. That's good. We want those. And we've got how many trains? 2. 1 to each city. 1 to Gütersloh and 1 to Cologne. We haven't got one going to Essen yet, have we? Does Essen have a... Well, they're going to have a need for wool, for wood at the very least. So let's run a train from here to Essen as well. There we go. We've got some points to spend. What can we look for? Anything cheap? Not really. I think we'll hang on to those and start looking at trying to get some of these extra bits down here. We've got some staff to look at as well. What have we got? A stoker and a conductor. Well, we'll take the stoker. Ignore the conductor. A new surveyor. Specialises in tunnel constructions. Gets on well with our station master, but does not get on with our accountant. Well, we don't need this particular member of staff anyway, because it's much better for us to stick with the one that we've got. A 7% reduction on cost of new routes. That's much more likely to be important to us than the occasional tunnel. So we'll ignore this member of staff here. I've got a mediator. We don't need to mediate any auctions just yet, so we'll ignore that as well. Grain's coming in nicely, so we're fine there. I'm going to get a second... just clone the train, can't I? There we go. Get a second one of those trains up and running. And how are we doing on the other side? It's not actually taking any sugar beets at the moment. Why is that? Does the city just not need them? 69,500 is the basic demand for that commodity as just a commodity on its own. But now that we have the business in position, we do have a need for those as an ingredient. So that's good. That's another useful commodity there for trade. We've got no supply tower on this little route here. Forgot to put one in. So let's drop one just here. There we go. How's our tailors doing? Not bad. No, we don't want the bakery in Salzburg. But we should now, hopefully, start shipping out wool between our 2 cities. We've got our train from... not wool, sorry, Lederhosen. We've got Cologne and Saarbrücken waiting to pull into the station. Let's just see if this loads up with some of that clothing. So we've also got a train in here from Saarbrücken as well. So this one is going out with boots. This one's going out with just sausage. They haven't got a high enough population at the moment to demand the clothing, but I'm going to clone this train. That also is just taking boots. Do they not have a demand for clothing yet? Oh, for 47,000 citizens. Okay, so at the moment we're stockpiling clothes, which will start flying off the shelves soon. Let's deal with this. Ooh, bonus. A little bit of a boost to the 5 express trains that we have, but more importantly, it's also unlocking other options for us in the skill tree. So I want... you know what? Let's go with a larger station, which means I can put it slightly further away, perhaps. That is really, really close. I'm going to put it up here, actually. It's too close at the moment to good to slow. I couldn't really get a train staggered in there and running efficiently. But if I do it like this, I can bring the business out this way and then curve it back in along here. Plus it also allows me to split it off and send it out the other way as well. Let's drag this down a bit. Like that. It's a bit of an uncomfortable looking arc, isn't it? Let's try and smooth that out a little bit if we can. There we go. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because, again, until we have a big demand for dairy, it just means the trains could be running back and forth empty all the time. So to keep it at a to stop it from just going back with just one run or one bit of dairy every run or any at all, if we make it a slightly longer route, it also means when we get busier and we have a bigger demand, I can double up the number of trains on the route and they're not going to get in each other's way. And of course it gives me that way of combining access from the other side into this bit of track here, and then we can still have space for those trains to stack up on approach to the station if necessary. Again, we're going to want a diamond just there, and then this is the point where we're going to split the train off. Bring that down. Should take that one out. That should be fine. That should auto sort itself out as soon as we get this one done. Ah, perfect. Look at that. That's just long enough for a train as well, so we can get something waiting in that little diversion loop. There we go. But I need to move these signals though. That's a little bit of an issue, having signals right there. So we'll take those out. There we go. And if we have our signals here, that means that anything that's in between these signals will have priority, and anything, you know, coming through this side will have to wait and stack up inside here. That's fine. That's exactly what I want. I mean, what I could do actually is I could take those and run them alongside and into there. I probably will do, actually, thinking about it. That's going to be better for us. So we split the line at this point here. And get that running in here. I mean, the plan going forward will be to have a dairy in this town. So we will need a frequent connection, which means it's going to need to be busy, which means we're going to need to have space to stack those trains. So I'm not too bothered about perhaps looping away a little bit too much like that. There we go. So if we can signal this now, our signals need to kind of line up a little bit. And then a set of signals in the middle. There we go. It's not the most unsightly. Well, it's a little bit unsightly, that kind of weird little bend around there, but it does the job. A little unseemly, but it does what we need it to. So let's start running some dairy into there, and then come back and then run some dairy into there. This is just a temporary thing, and eventually these will be separated out into their own individual routes, but it's what we'll do for now. So we need to make sure that we're not carrying anything from the station back to Wagner Mine. There we go. And let's stick a Class F on there. Engineer. the stoker, and ignore the conductor. Right, supply towers. Got them at either end, that's good. Need to make sure I've got repair facilities at these stations. Yes, we do, that's good. Everything's starting to come along quite nicely. How's our business doing over here in Saarbrücken? Getting a good supply of materials, look. So that's nice to see. And we have a little supply of candy building up. Our beer is actually being produced as well, which is always helpful. Our clothing situation. Business is kind of slowing down a bit at the moment because there's no clothes being shipped out, but this place is going to be getting close. Yes, they're now close enough to have a demand for clothing. Let's see. Just got meat there. There's our fruit and wood train. Meat and boots. Meat and boots. That's a long run. I hadn't realised just how long a run that was between stations. Let's clone the train again. And now we should. Once it spawns on the platform. Just got to let this one clear first. There it is. And there we go. Our first loads of clothing are now being shipped out. Excellent stuff. So we've got businesses that are going to work together. Essen is now growing as well. So we're getting some real traction on getting these cities up and running. Do I have a connection running between these two cities? Gütersloh to Cologne. What about between Essen and Cologne? Actually, no, Essen and Gütersloh. There's no freight connection between those two, which seems odd. Why wouldn't I have done that? Maybe I just didn't have the time or the money. Sorry, the money, or I just forgot to put that connection in. Who knows? But we'll put a freight connection in. A tight F on there, and we'll take a refrigerator car. Increased ticket prices for passengers. What do we have over here? Just trying to figure out which way to go through next. That would be a good option to have. Reliability, power. Reliability, reducing sand and water, etc. Yeah, we kind of need to get up here, don't we? So we'll wait until we get the holder unlocked. Oh, excuse me. We'll get the holder unlocked, and then we'll be able to swoop across this way. I don't really want the consolidation B. We've got plenty of strong freight trains already. We don't really need one that only goes 1 mile an hour faster. And is, if I remember rightly, is a little bit more unreliable as well. So, yeah, we'll wait for this one, get this unlocked. This will be an improvement on the Rensselaer, which is a 40 mile an hour train with a 36% traction. This is faster, same traction but faster, which would be good. And also, as I say, gains us access to these without having to buy a loco we don't really want. Right. See where we are time-wise. We've got to the end of 1858 to do both of the next two tasks. We're up to 454,000 people. So we still need to find another 300,000 people. But our cities are getting bigger. All of them over here. Even Kassel is improving again, look. They're churning out a lot of boots. Huge amount of boots. The distillery is busy pumping away. Not enough salt at the food industry. Did we get our salt trains sorted? Yes, we did. We've got 3 salt trains. I think maybe we're going to need another one. There we go. I've got a promoter. Now, we do want to use a promoter. The question is which one? Which one of our cities do we promote? I think we'll go with Gütersloh. get good to slow up and running as quick as we can. Get that dairy in, so let's promote good to slow in here. There we go. So that'll help us get our dairy up and running in here really quickly. We still haven't connected to Koblenz yet, and I'm not sure where we could actually ship that meat to. We would need to get connections going through here. We've got a connection bonus over here. It's a decent one as well, actually. We're going to sneak into that one. There we go. A little bit of extra cash. Check our business production rates. The brewery is again out of materials. I think... No, we seem to be okay over there. Maybe just not getting the trains in fast enough. Where are all the trains? Let's see where they all are. So we've got one here, just about to fill up. Got one there going in with 3. Another one unloading at the moment. That one went in full. Problem is, we've also got trains coming in on the other side as well. Is it just the one? No, Schmidt Breeding. Where is that train going? Oh, how about Hollow? Oh, that's the grain train. Oh, in that case, we've only got 2 trains delivering to Saarbrücken. Look. Yeah, we definitely need the other train then. We're just not keeping up with the demand. So let's get another one of those up and running. There it is. That's going to go in full. 3 trains should now get the hops in here at a more consistent basis. You can see with all these peaks and troughs in our production is where we've just run out of hops. So if we can get the hops in more consistently, then that'll be a good thing for us there. Over here, production's slowed right down because no one's buying our candy at the moment. It's not being shipped out. What do we need in terms of a population for candy? 74,000 people. That's not great, is it? Cologne's population is, still a bit short. But it's about to unlock the next level, which will be putting in a museum to help give that 10% growth bonus. Getting close to 40,000 over here. Good to Slow is now over 40,000. Oh, look at that. Wow. That promoter's done a great job for us. I think it's still going as well. Let's drop in our dairy. There we go. And that dairy's going to need to be expanded. It's not going to be producing fast enough on its own. Let's go to our dairy train. I should have 1 train running. Yeah, there it is. The bakery in Frankfurt. That's one of our towns, isn't it? That's cheap. Alright, we'll buy that. It's just not getting the raw materials at the moment, so we just need to make sure. If we sort this by route. How about Hollow to Frankfurt? Is it the only one of those trains? It is, isn't it? I've got 1 grain train going in. Okay, so get 2 more in. How about Hollow to Worms? Worms is declining. Why is Worms declining? It's not getting its grain through there. Do we own this business? We do. It's not going to be enough. We're going to need to upgrade that to another level. Probably going to need to clone my Worms train as well. Hang on. I see. That's one of those long ones there. Alright. So I have got a grain train that just does a direct route. Okay. Shorter pits is dairy. It's the only one that we're getting. It's short on so many different commodities, look. We could really do with perhaps having a warehouse somewhere in the region that could just transport goods all over the place. This one's going to be a tricky one to figure out. Goods are slow growing again. Already over 60,000 people. Let's stick the museum in. Keep that growth going. And same over here in Cologne. Let's get a museum in. Keep that growth going. Just have a quick scroll through each of our towns. There we go. Let's get that train. There we go. And a quick and easy way for us to replace our Rensselaers is to do it like that. So all of our Rensselaer express trains should now be holders. Let's find one and double check. Oops. Clicked off in the wrong spots. Where are we? Ah, camera keeps getting me confused as it spins around. We don't have many passenger trains left. There we go. And you can see there it's a holder. Excellent stuff. Worms has stopped declining. As long as we can at least keep the grain going in, that's going to be, you know, important. Saarbrücken grows again. Another city for a museum, so again we'll plonk one of those in. And I just saw another one grow as well, I think, didn't I? Essen has grown. We can now get a second business in up here. We're running a lot of growth here. Now, I do want to try out this new porcelain manufactory. I get the feeling it's going to be a business that isn't really going to pay off for a long time. Let's take a quick look at production details. So, we've got porcelain and furniture are the two possible choices, and both of them need around 100,000 people. Oh dear. It's going to be a long time before we make too much money over there. Up to 65,000 people and growing in Cologne. There's our other dairy train. There it is. Let's clone that again. I think I just cloned the wrong train. Yeah, I did. Alright, so we don't want to go to Essen. There we go. So that's going to run there, and then it'll have to run back. I like the idea of a furniture business because we've got wood quite close. Wood's over there. I like the idea of a porcelain factory because we have the coal that we need just there, and the other material is over here. I keep forgetting what that material is. Again, either of those businesses would be better suited in here, I think. Maybe the furniture would be okay in here. We're making some good money. Let's at least knock out our territory one. So we need 2 more territories, I think it is. I wish I could zoom out a bit further. Trying to avoid going into territories that are already connected to the to the enemy, so to speak. But I don't really know where it is I'm supposed to be going after this, so let's buy this territory. That's 4.8. We can just about afford Baden and Württemberg. And we're pretty much skint again now, so we need to let our cash kind of stockpile back up again, and then we've got a lot of towns in here. Oh, they're all in decline. Oh, that's not good. We bought a failing territory. It's a big one, though. We should hopefully have some decent kind of access, and it gets us kind of really right up against our neighbour over here. Is it Beat? No, it's the gangster. Wolfgang, I think it is. I forget the German names that they gave to some of the characters. Need some more points. Not quite enough yet. Let's see how we're doing over here. A market crier, if we were running a lot of passenger services, would be useful, but not really all that helpful to us at the moment. How's our population doing? 513, nearly 514,000. We still need one more area as well, so hopefully we can at least secure the other area next time out. And as far as getting our population up, that might take a little bit longer, but we've got a lot of cities that we can suddenly connect to, and that'll give us a bit of a boost. So still need to think about maybe collecting up Koblenz as well. Saarbrücken continues to grow. It's just amazing how quickly these cities have sprung up. Considering how hard it was to get the other cities up and running, these ones are popping up ridiculously fast. And we do need to decide what business we want to stick in here, and I just don't know. Did we build a distillery? We didn't, did we? Alright, well, let's put a distillery in Essen then. It's still a little bit of a trek from the fruit location, but it's not horrendously bad. We're already going to have a train running in there anyway. Let's get another one in. But this one, again, we want to focus on fruit. And let's have a look at replacing all of our freight locomotives. That's going to cost us 895,000 to do that. Well, we'll give it a second and we'll have that cash. Speed up time a little bit. There we go. To replace all of our freight locos with new Class F locos. So the older ones that we have will now get a brand new lick of paint, and all the other ones that are running freight. Is that one running? Oh, that's running automatic. There you can see we've got a Class F there, we've got a Class F here. All of the trains that are running automatic have not been changed, which is a bit frustrating. So if we go to replace, and let's see, I want to replace the Limats. So we had a train running through here a moment ago that was running. What train is that? That's a Class F. It's a Rhine. Alright, let's look at getting the Rhines replaced. That's going to cost me 1.8 million because I've got 43 of them. Yeah, I'm going to have to hold off on that one, I think. Might do them individually here and there. New staff, what do we got? A couple of engineers, we'll hire those. New station master does not get on with our surveyor, and we need the surveyor. The surveyor is very, very useful to us. Maintenance. Oh, it's exactly the same as the one we already have anyway, so again, doesn't matter. We can ignore that. And we have a market crier, a mediator, and a professor. We're ignoring all of those as well. So that's where we're going to leave it this time out. We've got our cities up really quickly. Essen, Cologne, and Saarbrücken all massively improved, and Gütersloh as well. It's kind of stalled a little bit, but definitely has been very, very good for us, getting all of those towns to boost. And now we can get stuff getting traded back and forth between them, which will help to keep them growing as well. So next time out, we will look at getting our final territory needed, and then continue working on getting our population up. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more of the Patchwork scenario for the Germany DLC on Railway Empire very soon.